Good morning, West Texas. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm Jay Plyburn.
And I'm Trent McGill.
And at the end of our last show, we were talking a little bit about Halloween costumes. Now, Trent, do you know what, at least what the radio claims to be the most popular Halloween costume this year?
A vampire. I would say a vampire.
Kind of a category. No, Lady Gaga themed Halloween costumes.
So just like a normal Tuesday for her.
Yeah, exactly. That's a wide variety of costumes.
Meat dress.
So that is interesting to me. But she does go all out with the wardrobes in her performances.
I wonder what her favorite holiday is. I bet it's Halloween.
I would say it's not Christmas or Easter.
Yeah.
So I'd go with Halloween. So. But yeah, she's gonna be popular this Halloween, so go out and check out some Lady Gaga costumes. Now, concerning the weather this morning, it's kind of cool out there, but it's another nice start to the day.
Very nice. A little warmer than it was yesterday, so it's not quite as cool, but it's still chilly fall. It's still, October morning, fall morning, so it's just gonna get cooler. Bottom line, it's gonna get much cooler once we head into tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, tomorrow morning. So yeah, enjoy it.
It's October now, so that makes sense.
Jacket weather in the mornings, short sleeves at night.
All right. More on the forecast in just a minute, but first, let's give you a look at some of the stories making headlines this morning. Coming up in just a few minutes, Austin City Limits is officially over, but it looks like it was another successful year. We've got the rundown on who headlined the 9th annual ACL and how many people came out to Zilker Park for the event. Plus, we'll give you a look at your financial news with your Bloomberg Business Report. And coming up in just about 30 minutes, a former Midland firefighter who was charged earlier this year with defrauding homeowners has been extradited to Midland after he was caught sleeping in a van in Washington State. We've got the details on Jason Morrison and the charges he now faces. But first, weather on the twos, and Trent says it's going to cool down.
Tomorrow, much cooler. Today, still warm. Take a look at this outside right now. It's nice. We're at 56 degrees. Some of us in the 40s, but most of us are seeing very light winds out there. Taking you through your day, though, we'll see tons of sunshine. Everybody get up, get at them, though. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:02, 48 degrees by around sunrise. Back to work, back to school, whichever it may be. Warm and bright this afternoon, though. How about 73 degrees, though, by around lunchtime. We're looking for mid-80s for highs today, so it'll be warm today, but cooler going into tomorrow. How cool? How much cooler? Well, we'll let you know that coming up in your weather on the 2. So let's let you know how long it'll last. Jay?
All right, thank you, Trent. Well, it's 6:02. Here's a few of the stories making headlines. Austin City Limits is officially over, but it looks like it was a time that music lovers won't soon forget. The Eagles closed out the 9th annual ACL with, of course, Hotel California. Festival organizers say that more than 65,000 people packed into Zilker Park to attend each day. And with 130 bands playing on 8 stages, the crowds had plenty of artists to hear throughout the weekend. Time now for some financial news. Here's your Bloomberg Business Report.
Good morning. The Gap is listening to its faithful followers. The retailer switching back to the classic blue box logo it's used for 20 years. That's after consumer outcry involving thousands of negative comments on Gap's Facebook page after releasing a revamped logo on its official website. And speaking of which, White Castle's online community has the opportunity to taste its latest craving, the garlic cheese slider, for free. To get the coupon, just hit the like button on White Castle's Facebook page. Now, shifting gears, expect Pandora, the internet radio company, to grab more of a foothold in the auto industry. By early next year, Ford will start shipping its Fiesta cars with software operating with Pandora voice controls. And as the mortgage mess gets worse, title insurers now getting into the fray. More on that after this.
Bloomberg's Business Report is brought to you by Shell.
In Brazil, Shell has created a fuel oil for factories that can cut soot emissions. Allowing Raul and his brother to play under clearer skies. Let's make our energy cleaner and more efficient. Let's go.
Well, investors today getting a closer look at the last Federal Reserve meeting when its minutes are released later this afternoon. Speculation that the Fed may pump more cash into the economy helped keep stocks higher yesterday. And just as gold prices continue to hit record highs, the Wall Street Journal says Goldman Sachs is boosting its forecast to $1,600 an ounce. The brokerage says gold will rally until U.S. monetary policy begins to tighten. And about the mortgage document mess, the American Land Title Association tells Bloomberg title insurers, banks, and regulators are in talks to create warranties. Under the warranties, lenders assure they have followed proper procedures before selling foreclosed homes. Watch for a decision on this by the end of the week. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with the Bloomberg Business Reports.
Well, the city of Midland has been blessed with a wealth of volunteers for decades, but as many people get older, the United Way of Midland is hoping to get some younger adults to step in and help out. If you're interested, here's the perfect opportunity. United Way's Day of Action will be going on Thursday, October 14th. They have a number of fun ways for volunteers to help, from assisting a child with homework to feeding the homebound. If you'd like to take part, you can give them a call locally at 432-685-7700. Well, yesterday was Columbus Day, a holiday that Americans have celebrated for nearly 500 years. The famous saying suggests that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. But in recent years, the story of discovering America has been challenged. Big 2's Jackie Smith has more.
The story of Christopher Columbus is one we were taught back in elementary school. But the story we were told might not all be true. Like, did Christopher Columbus already know the world was round before he set sail? And did he actually set foot in America? I spoke to Dr. Andes, a history professor over at UTPB, who helped me uncover the real story. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, where we learned that he... 1492. To discover America.
I think the Queen made him do it.
The Queen. And did he think the world was round?
Yeah, no. He thought it was flat.
He thought it was. Dr. Stephen Andes, a history professor at UTPB, splits the myths from the facts.
It was widely known that that the world was perhaps round. What wasn't known was how far Europe was from Asia.
He also never actually set foot in North America. Bahamas, was it?
Yeah, he first landed at a sort of an obscure Bahamian island.
It is true that Isabel and Ferdinand invested in his journey, but they were not the first Columbus approached.
First sort of hit up the Portuguese monarchy and had a potential for other backers, but he really wanted royal support for his expeditions because...
So although Americans may not know the whole truth about this historic voyage, it is still a story with an important message.
Realize that it takes work to forge a country based on democracy and the right of conscience and a free press and those things, and it's something that develops with a firm national will to do.
Another myth that has yet to be solved is whether Columbus was actually Italian. Italian Americans across the country celebrate Columbus Day and may be surprised to learn that Columbus might be from Corsica, a region in France. For Good Morning West Texas, I'm Jackie Smith.
All right, Jackie, thank you for that report. Well, the Tall City has a new fire chief. Robert Isbell will head the department starting in early to mid-December. He's currently the fire chief in Euless and has worked his way up the ranks over his 25-year career. Isbell beat out 4 other candidates for that position. Well, it was a very big day for UTPB as they announced they were receiving a grant for oil field research. The Department of Energy has granted the university and their partner Legato Resources close to $1.2 million. It'll be used for research that could eventually benefit everyone in the Permian Basin.
Going to help characterize the understanding of the history of the Goldsmith field and how there are potentially hundreds of millions of barrels of additional reserves in that and other fields in that area.
He also added there's potentially billions of reserves in oil fields across the Permian Basin. And a scary situation in the Bayou City as 17 schools receive envelopes filled with a mysterious powder. It might just be a hoax or it might be something more serious. Either way, the FBI is investigating the situation as a potential terrorist threat. ABC's Adela Uchida reports.
Askew, Austin, and Belfort, the latest 3 schools targeted in what's become a widespread mail scare, making its way alphabetically through Houston area schools.
I hope everything goes well, and I hope nobody gets hurt. And I don't think they will. I think it was probably a prank, but I'm not positive about anything.
While teens might be shielded by naivety, law enforcement, including the FBI, are conducting a costly investigation, trying to answer the questions parents want to know most.
Who sent it and why?
17 campuses now report receiving envelopes containing less than a teaspoon of white powder. Preliminary reports indicate it's not dangerous. Still, the health department is running additional tests. In every case, authorities say the address was typed. The only clear pattern is that most of the school names start with A or B.
Knowing that it could be someone's targeting our school for something scary, I don't know. That scares me.
Bel Air High School got one of the letters. Principal Tim Salem told Eyewitness News he found the letter around 5 p.m. Friday after the school district alerted him and other principals. That message was quickly funneled to parents like Sean Cohn.
I've got 5 kids, and they're in 5 different schools.
The serious nature of the threat forced her to have a conversation with all of her children before school this morning.
I did tell all the kids, it's just a hoax.
For her 11th grader Elizabeth, the gravity of the investigation is hard to grasp.
I know that there are a lot of scares, so I wasn't personally all that concerned. And also it's very unreal to me because I've never had to deal with it before. It is kind of creepy, and I definitely am on a little edge of being in school. Yeah.
Scary situation at those schools there.
Right.
At 6:11 now, Trent joins me, and I'm so thankful that it's October now and that the cooler conditions are finally here in the basin.
We just haven't quite felt them yet. I mean, the mornings are cool.
The mornings and the evenings, yeah, but
they'll definitely get here. These afternoons are going to get much nicer. Our average highs are, in the 70s now. There's